we assume things are nailed on, but you know what? Everyone assumed La La Land was nailed on for Best Picture.
True.
Look what happened there.
Oscar time. It is pub talk.
I think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is going to storm the Oscars.
Parasite's one of those films that blew me away.
Parasite will just edge it. I think it's going to be close.
Parasite.
And we are live. And you guys know what time of year it is. It's award season. It's Oscars season. This is when we thrive at Pub Talk. This is when we have a great time. I am so excited for this year already. Nominations came out today. And yeah, let's dive into it. With me, as always, is this man right here, Mr. RobFuz. What you holding there, pal?
I'm winning my major award from last year, baby. What's up, everyone?
You have an award from last year? What happened last year?
Do. Look at it. Pub Talk, first place. We tied for first place. And yours is still in the box,
for first place. Mine's still in the box. I didn't take mine out yet, but yes, we did tie. We did tie for first place last year. So welcoming Brian Hernsberger is in the chat. And we're just gonna riff for a couple of minutes. Let people join us. If you're listening in the on the podcast as well, the pubcast, welcome. Thank you for listening. If you're watching on YouTube live or in the replay, again, thank you for watching. And yeah, it's another Pub Talk that we are beginning. In fact,
are you playing music or something? Or
there is background music while we riff
like
this.
Going nuts here. I'm trying because it's the theme song. I'm trying to figure out what's playing.
It is the theme song. Yeah, I didn't tell you about that, but I noticed it was a new feature in StreamYard, so I wanted to.
It's driving me nuts. I don't know if you
I wanted to make sure that we just started off on the right note while I pour myself a beer, and yeah. We'll dive straight into the nominations in just a moment.
This one's for Mike. Cheers, Mike.
There we go. So the music has stopped now, Rob. So
thank you. I was just because I'm like, the theme's going and it kept going. And I'm like, do I have another browser open or something? I'm like going nuts. Whatever. It's too funny.
No, it wasn't another browser. Don't you worry. So,
all right.
But there we go. Cheers. Welcome to the pub. Buddy. Welcome to the pub, guys. Yeah. So yeah, Oscars 2025, the 97th Academy Awards, and this morning, for those of you who may have not seen it yet, even for those who have, we're going to discuss everything now. But this morning at 8:30 a.m. Eastern time, was it?
You sure was.
Yeah. So 5:30 a.m. Pacific, and sort of 1:30 this afternoon lunchtime, if you were in the UK. They made the announcements, the long overdue announcements. They were supposed to be announced on Friday, but obviously we all know what's been going on in Los Angeles, the very tragic wildfires. So it caused obviously a lot of damage, a lot of disruption, and so they decided to push the nominations announcements back by almost a week. So we've lost 6 days. There's now only 38 days to the Oscars to try to watch 50 films. 50 films have been nominated this year.
Yeah, Adam did the calculations, which was awesome.
Yeah, fewer than the last few years. Only by a few. I think last year there was 53. And in previous years, we've had it varied between like 52 and 56 over
Why do I remember a lot more, like 60, 70? Am I just delusional? Okay.
No, I don't think we've reached 60 yet, thankfully.
All right. Delusional. And Adam watches all of them. He tries to watch all of them. So
I try to watch all of them. Yeah, absolutely.
But Adam, to be fair, we're both busy. The world's busy. Everyone's busy. We knew probably about 20 of those movies going to be on the list here, at least. We could have jumped ahead. And my wife and I, we always like watching them as well alongside you. And every night we're like, oh, we got to start watching them. We got to start watching it. We didn't either. But now, that's what's great about nomination morning. Like now we have motivation. We have the list. We want to go. It's go time. So
that's right. Sure. That's right. So yeah. We have the list now. We can now begin. And I can say that I've seen 2 movies already this year. I preempted 2 movies to be nominated. One thing that really excites me about this year's nominations, though, is I don't think there's a clear-cut winner. If you look at like last year, everyone knew Oppenheimer was going to canter to a victory. It was a stroll to victory, really. The year before, the same with Everything Everywhere All at Once. You know, it was a done deal. You know, whereas this year feels a bit more of a wide open race. You know, there's a few pictures in the running for, in the Best Picture category. So it'll be interesting to see how it all goes this year. But yeah,
well, I have you one beat, by the way. I've seen 3 movies that were nominated. So
you have seen 3. You have seen 3.
I saw Wicked. You didn't see Wicked.
I've not seen Wicked yet. No.
I saw Wild Robot, which was awesome. You got to see Wild Robot.
Nice.
And I saw Inside Out too, being a Disney fan, of course. So
there we go.
So the 3, and I'm a little embarrassed because I definitely, you know, a lot of these you can watch on Netflix. A lot of them are available, but that's all I saw. So
there we go. Well, anyway, let's
want to talk about what you saw.
I have seen Amelia Perez, which is the top nominated film this year. It's got 13 nominations, and I have seen Dune Part 2, which I believe has 8, or is it 6? I can't remember. I'd have to double check, but you know, it's got numerous.
1, 2,
oh no, it's got
3,
5. It's
4,
got 5. 5. Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
Adam put stars. He didn't put numbers, so make it hard for us.
Yeah. That's right. But
anything below 5 is easy to figure out. But like, you know, Amelia Perez, I'm like, counting it.
Yeah, 13 Amelia Perez. And the next ones were The Brutalist and Wicked with 10 apiece. So yeah,
don't forget we got a podcast. If you guys are listening to the podcast, thank you so much. We're on this channel and my channel, RobFuz, and this Adam's Land. We're on those 2 channels, so check us out on YouTube too.
On YouTube, yeah, absolutely. So yeah, the address is his RobFuz's address. So youtube.com /@RobFuz.
Thank you. Do I have to say that?
ROBFUZ. Oh, that's, you know, and obviously youtube.com /@AdamsLand. There we go. So welcome, Alison. Welcome. Yeah, I've seen Wicked and Conclave, 2 films I'm very much looking forward to seeing. I've not seen them yet, Alison, but I am very much looking forward to seeing them. So yeah. But without further ado, we'll dive straight into the nominations. Obviously, there's 23 categories to get through. We'll try and make them as quick as possible, but there are some notable snubs that we maybe need to cover as well. We're going to say something there.
I'm hoping for. There's one thing I'm hoping for. I'm gonna let you know if it happens. Go ahead.
Okay, but here we go.
Here are the nominees for performance by an actor in a supporting role. Yura Borisov for Honora, Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain, Edward Norton for A Complete Unknown, Guy Pearce for The Brutalist, and Jeremy Strong for The Apprentice.
There she is, my favorite voiceover artist. Kimmy's back, baby. That's what I was hoping for.
There you go. Yeah,
you told me you were going to work with your wife, but I wasn't sure if you actually did it or not. So good job.
Yeah,
Kimmy.
I made sure I got everything lined up the moment Kim walked in. I didn't even let her make a cup of tea. I just kind of plunked her straight in the seat, and I was like, "Speak, monkey, speak."
Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, my favorite line ever. So I had to bring it up.
Sorry, Kimmy is a professional when it comes to the voiceover
She's
stuff.
awesome.
So as you just heard, her voiceovers for the first category, which is
her first voiceover role as Mrs. Southwick. So
yes, absolutely, her first voiceover role as Mrs. Kimberly Southwick, and that was for supporting actor category.
Right.
So I mean, one thing to say straight away there is that there was a surprise inclusion, I think, which was Jeremy Strong for The Apprentice. I don't think many people saw Jeremy Strong getting nominated there. There was a snub as well, so a surprise straight from the get-go, because I think everyone was tipping Denzel Washington to get a nomination for Gladiator 2. He was nominated for the Golden Globes.
Not a great film, I heard.
Nominated for Critics' Choice. So yeah, Denzel overlooked at the Oscars, and Jeremy Strong getting the nod there. So yeah, it'd be interesting. I'm not going to go into predictions just yet. I think,
no.
Yeah.
We could say the heavy favorite and think about it, but I'm all right with that. But
yeah,
we could move on.
but yeah, it's
So,
an interesting
but
category.
time out. I'm sorry to interrupt, Adam. If you guys don't know, we have a bunch of shows, so we will have a prediction show. So, and
Absolutely, we will. Yeah.
we have a red carpet show, and then we have the results show. And if you guys want, we do Oscar predictions. Like if anyone wants to join, we'll send you the ballot, and then you tell us what your thing is, and then we have a we didn't really talk about this. We have a competition every year. Last year, Adam and I tied. Adam's won 3 or 4 times. He's unbelievable. So 5 times. He's the king. And so if you guys want, just in the chat or whatever, or email me robfuz@gmail.com. And then you can usually we have like 10 people, over 10 people vote, right? Something like that. We got the gang, Adam, Brandon.
Yeah. There's been a good 10, 15 people over the last couple of years that have joined us. So yeah,
us.
Pam
Grace,
joined in last year. Pam, Connie, Grace,
Pam's mom. Everyone.
Jimmy, So
Jimmy from More Sunshine, please. So if you guys want, I'm sorry to interrupt. I know we're trying to get through this, but so we're gonna have a couple more shows. So definitely check out our YouTube channels and the podcast. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry.
No, don't apologize whatsoever. It's all good. But yeah, so that was the first category nominated. So I'm interested in seeing some of these performances. You should say I'm really looking forward to seeing some of these performances. Alison says, I feel typically whoever wins the Golden Globe wins the Oscar, but that's not always the case. No, you're right, Alison. It's always a good start off to award season, but the race, the race can sometimes swing wide open. I think there was one year a couple of years ago. 3 or 4 years ago, where we headed into the Oscars and 4 of the 5 nominees had each won an award that season. One had taken the Golden Globe, one had taken the SAG Award, one had taken the Critics' Choice, one had taken the BAFTA, and it was just like, oh my God, what is going to happen? And it was such a great race. So I love years like that, and I'm hoping this year's kind of like that. I'm hoping we see a lot more sort of swing votes kind of across the board, rather than seeing the same ones winning time and again, because it makes award season too predictable then, I think. So
how many days to the Oscars? I know you calculated
38 days 38.
Wow. I think this year's gonna be weird because some of the award shows got moved back because the fires and stuff like that, so maybe the buzz will be a little bit different. But like we said, there's not much buzz per se today, but between now and those 38 days, March 3rd,
March 2nd,
Sunday, March 2nd. I had to look at my calendar. Yeah, March 2nd. A lot happens. Things change a lot, like Adam said, and that one year was crazy. So go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry. No, that's fine. That's fine. We'll dive into the next category that was announced. So they always announce one of the supporting actor or actress categories first, which is obviously But the next category announced was. Here are the nominees for Achievement in Costume Design. A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Gladiator 2, Nosferatu, and Wicked.
Is Gladiator 2 that bad? It got 1 nomination.
1 nomination, yeah. I think obviously everyone was expecting Denzel to get a nomination there, but
wow.
I haven't seen Gladiator 2 yet. I am actually looking forward to seeing it, and I know sometimes reviews can pan a film, but I will always still give a film a chance and obviously reserve judgment. But
if it wasn't nominated, will you have watched it out of curiosity?
Yes, I would have watched it as well. I actually know someone that was in the film, so
ooh, look at you, big shot.
Yeah, so yeah, it is one that I've wanted to see for quite a while because of that. So but yeah, so I think 4 of those 5 films make absolute sense. Gladiator 2, you're going to expect, obviously a period piece, if you will, so you're going to expect great costumes. Conclave, you're going to expect that. Wicked, very theatrical, you're going to expect that. I think A Complete Unknown's the one I'm not sure about. I don't know anything about that. Oh, it's is that the Bob Dylan one?
Bob Dylan biopic.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. So
I agree with Alison saying she's biased towards Wicked. Wicked was awesome. The costume design was great.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing all of those. So yeah, I think like I say, a lot of them a lot of them made absolute sense in this category, and obviously we'll dive into the next one hand in hand with costume. You have
Here are the nominees for achievement in makeup and hairstyling: A Different Man, Emilia Perez, Nosferatu, The Substance, and Wicked.
So Wicked is nominated in both of those categories, as is Nosferatu. And two films I'm very much looking forward to seeing. A Different Man, I have no idea about. Emilia Perez, yeah, I can understand it. And what was the other film then?
Substance.
Substance. Yeah, again, I know nothing about that one really. So I can't really comment on the makeup and hairstyling.
Oh my God! Wait till you see Different Man. Oof.
Yeah, I mean, obviously,
it's like a
makeup and
deformed
hairstyling.
face or something. So.
Okay, so I was.
That's a real guy. That's not. Wow. Okay.
I was just thinking then, because obviously, if you think of some of the makeup and hairstyling, winners over the last few years, it makes me think back to like Brendan Fraser and The Whale,
yeah,
and the transformation he had to go through, or Gary Oldman in Darkest Hour when they basically transformed him into Winston Churchill and things like that, So it's always a category that I actually. It's a lesser celebrated category, but it's one that I always actually look forward to because normally you see something completely mind blowing and transformational. So I'm looking forward to seeing the films in this category. I don't know what your thoughts are there.
Yeah, no, I agree 100% with you. It's always. You see, like, you literally just see the trailer. You're like, that one, you know what I mean? Like, you just, the period pieces and stuff like that. So, but again, Wicked was awesome. So, I don't know. I might be biased towards Wicked. I don't know.
I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
do you think Wicked being, and like, I didn't even know this literally until the day I was going to see Wicked, that it was a part one. Do you think part one's hurt a movie's chances? Like, even like, or a part two, like, what's it called? Dune 2. Do you think that a part 1 and part 2 hurt chances?
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't have thought so. I don't think a film has to be a standalone film to do well. I am, as I say that, I'm trying to think of the last time a franchise won, because obviously if you think, Oppenheimer was a standalone picture last year. Everything Everywhere All at Once was a standalone picture. I'm trying to think of the last time something that was maybe part of a franchise did win Best Picture. It's an interesting question. I'd have to.
I think Lord of the Rings. I would think, obviously The Godfathers.
Yeah.
I can't even think. I got to think about it too. So
yeah. We'd have to.
Good point.
To delve back and see when the last.
But see, this isn't even a franchise. This is a part 1 and a part 2 of the same movie. That's my point, which is bizarre.
That kind of makes it a franchise almost. In that, if you're running a sequel, if you're planning a picture that is not going to just be a standalone, you've made it into a franchise straight away. So
good point.
So and they've done that, and obviously absolutely made a killing at the box office this year. With it, it is the standout box office movie of the year. So in that regard, I can see why it's so widely celebrated.
Yeah.
But
I was just curious your thoughts.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm like I say, I need to delve back through the annals of history and see when the last franchise picture won.
Not even going to comment on that.
So. Yeah, I wish Grace was in chat. I'm sure she'd have an answer straight away. But yeah. But okay, so that was obviously we had costume design and hair and makeup. The next category to be announced, and this one did have a snub as well. So here we go. Here are the nominees for achievement in music. Best Original Score: The Brutalist, Conclave, Emilia Perez, Wicked, and The Wild Robot. So Challengers was not nominated here, which won the Golden Globe.
Yeah, it's
a lot
bizarre.
of, yeah. Obviously, a lot of people were expecting Dune 2 to get nominated, but it can't. While Dune 2 was nominated for the Golden Globe, it failed to meet criteria for the Academy, for the Oscars, in that too much of the score from the first film was used. So, yeah. So,
oh wow, that's interesting.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that is, yeah. So Dune 2 couldn't be nominated here. Which is surprising, because if Dune 2 can't be nominated here, on the technicality of it using too much of a previous score, thus not being original, how does Wicked get nominated?
Wicked's a part 1, it's not a part 2. So
no, but Wicked, is it an original score or is it taken from the theater?
I think the movie was a different score. Yeah, it's
so does the movie? I mean, I've not seen the movie, so I'm wondering if the music is purely from the theater, or if there is a score that accompanies it as well.
Well, the songs are from the play. The score, I think, would be different. I don't have that answer, but it makes sense. Because
the reason I say that is obviously, the movie of Les Miserables is all the music from the stage show. There is, So Alison says, yes, I think the movie has its own score. And that would explain it then. Thank you, Alison. Yeah. Like I say, I've not seen Wicked yet. So I'm not sure. But obviously, if they are just using the music from the stage show, then surely it shouldn't qualify, if that makes sense.
Yeah, Wicked and Wild, the two movies I saw. Wild Robot, amazing score. Wicked, amazing score, of course. But yeah. Amelia Perez is literally a musical, so that I think it's going to do good. Who knows? We'll see. Brutalist is a dark underscore. Whenever I heard that, Conclave, I think's dark too.
Yeah, but Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross overlooked for Challengers here, which won the Golden Globe. So that does surprise me. There was a snub right there.
Challengers got 0 nominations.
Challengers, yeah, got 0 nominations. So that was one of the shocks of the day, was that Challengers was completely shut out in every single category. So yeah. Anyway, the next category that was announced was
Here are the nominees for Best Live Action Short Film: Alien, Anuja, I'm Not a Robot, The Last Ranger, and The Man Who Could Not Remain Silent.
I
haven't heard of any of these ones this year.
Neither have I. I was saying before you went for the clip, real quick, if you go to Oscars.org, you pull up the nominations, which is really cool this year. I just wanted to mention this. They have a drop down and you can literally pick what you want real quick. And remember, like, I always struggle trying to find everything, so it's much easier this year. So I'm sorry, because
that's cool.
I've never heard of anything yet either. So
yeah, and that's the thing. Like, sometimes in the documentaries and even in the live action and animated shorts, you maybe know one or two of them, but this year, this one is going to be a complete blank slate, and I guess we're going to have to try and find and watch them, if they're made available before. Sometimes the thing with the shorts is they're sometimes made available in the last week or two before the awards. Sometimes you can find them, and you can even purchase them on like Vimeo or there was one year a couple of years ago where one of them, they actually just put it on YouTube for anyone to watch, which was great.
I remember,
it was the filmmakers that actually put it on YouTube. So which was great. Whereas sometimes they don't release them until after the awards. So I'm hoping they'll be available. So I like to sometimes sit down and watch 3 or 4 in a night because they're short. So depending on the length of them. So
we had fun with a couple of them.
Say again.
So we had fun with a couple of them in the past. So.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, a couple of them have been really good. So
one time I took a film class and literally they showed every single one, and they showed the shorts and the 2 different categories, the live and the animated shorts. So that was really cool to see them all that year. And I literally that one. Like once you see all of them, you're like, yeah, that one. And usually you're very right about what wins. So
Yeah, yeah. So Alison says she has no clue here on this one as well. So, but yeah, funnily enough, you mentioned the live action shorts and the animated shorts, and of course, the next category nominated or announced was. Here are the nominees for Best Animated Short Film: Beautiful Men, In the Shadow of the Cypress, Magic Candies, Wonder to Wonder, and Yuck.
Yuck.
Yuck. Again, I've not heard of any of those. Alison just asked a good question. So does the UK release movies at the same time the US releases them, or is it sooner, later? I'm just curious. I guess it depends on the movie. It depends on the distributor, Alison, is the answer. So
Adam's a good person to ask this question.
It depends on your distribution deal that you get for your movie. Obviously, if it's a big studio release, let's say it's Universal or Disney or Warner Brothers, then it's likely to release globally or at least in many, many territories at the same time. So think of like your big Star Wars and Avatar releases and things like that. They release globally at the same time, pretty much. Maybe a few hours difference, and that's it. So
UK's different because I think the UK and the United States are pretty much hand in hand with American movies, at least. I think around the world, sometimes they'll. And in the past, it used to be physical film reels. Now it's digital. Like they would literally take the film reels, they're done here, and they would ship them somewhere else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's I mean, obviously nowadays, you have to have, with your sales agents and your distributors, you have to have all of your deliverables ready, and it's a lot easier with digital now. But basically, you hand it on to whoever is distributing your film, and they will set their marketing and their release date and stuff like that. It depends what else they're releasing at the same time and things like that. So they all have schedules to release to, and so the answer is it varies depending on who is distributing it. So yeah.
Real quick, I know I'm tight for time, but I keep asking you questions. I love learning from you. How do they distribute a digital movie? Is it downloadable or is it physical media sent to theaters? I'm curious. Or is it?
So a lot of them these days are, essentially hard drive files. So there's the physical aspect in that it's you'll send physical hard drives, but it's not sending reels and things like that these days, or discs necessarily. So what have we got here? Fernanda Torres with her blackface TV drama supporting Johnny Depp and still get a nomination. That's sick. Thanks, Jason. But I'm not sure.
I heard there was a controversy, but I don't.
Yeah, I know nothing about that movie actually. So it's I believe Fernanda Torres is for an international one. So I don't know what the I don't know what movie that is. I'll be quite honest. But yeah, which was the category we were just
we did animated short film.
We were doing animated shorts. Here, yeah. Yes, that's right. Yeah, again, so like with the animated with the live action shorts, I don't know anything about these animated shorts this year. There's none of them that I've really heard of, and normally there's at least one of them that you know. So but that was the best animated short. So, okay, so we headed then into the writing categories, both of them. So, beginning with this one.
Here are the nominees for Best Adapted Screenplay: A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Emilia Perez, Nickel Boys, and Sing Sing.
I think Conclave stands a good chance there. Emilia Perez has obviously got a lot of love going for it as well. Nickel Boys. I can't say I know much about that one, but it's obviously crept into at least one other category as well. What were the other ones there? Sorry, that was there was.
How rare is that? A Best Picture only gets 2 nominations. Is that rare?
I think back to when Coda won. What did Coda get? 2, 3?
I think
and
3.
Coda, and Coda won Best Picture.
Yeah,
so,
true.
Yeah. So yeah, it's it's not that rare, in all honesty, for a Best Picture nominee to get 2 or 3 nominations. It's not that rare. You normally see at least one of them. And I guess this is the thing with the Academy over the last few years committing to. Hey Jim, welcome in. Jim from More Sunshine, please.
Jimmy.
Well. So yeah, with the Academy committing to 10 movies for Best Picture each year for the last few years, you will see one that maybe isn't loaded with 6, 7, 8 nominations or more. There will be ones that have only got 2 or 3 nominations, but are somehow in the running. So, but that was that was the writing category for Best Adapted Screenplay. Best Original Screenplay. Here are the nominees for Best Original Screenplay: Anora, The Brutalist, A Real Pain, September 5, and The Substance. So I've heard of September 5, but that's the only nomination that got this year. So so I can't really see it necessarily being in the running per se for anything. Well, it's not going to be in the running for anything else. But what I mean is for that even, yeah. I think The Brutalist probably stands a good chance here, judging by the sheer volume of nominations it's got. Anora as well. I think Anora got 6. And The Substance as well has got a few. So A Real Pain, I think this is only got 2. So yeah, A Real Pain obviously got the Kieran Culkin nomination for supporting actor, and it got the Jesse Eisenberg original screenplay nomination as well. So so that's the only ones that A Real Pain got. The Substance is a great, I hear is a great movie, says Alison. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing some of these because, like I say, there's been years gone by with the Oscars where you kind of know several of the films, whether you've seen them or not, you kind of know what they are, sort of leading up to it. Whereas this year there's so many that I just, and I was speaking to Rob about this earlier this morning when we were reacting live to the nominations as they came out. And I said, like, it's been a bit of a crazy year the last 12 months, since the Oscars, 10 months ago in March of 2024. After that, it was just a hectic sort of, one working on pre-production on a film anyway, and development, and then heading into pre-production. It's not often you get to stick your head above the surface and see what's going on. But then obviously with the small matter of a wedding and a honeymoon and things like that as well, I had no time to really keep up with what was going on. So this year it's going to be very interesting because, like I say, there's a lot of pictures out there that I have zero idea. But I kind of like that because Rob was asking me for some examples before of films that I've watched over the years that I went into knowing absolutely zero about and falling in love with them. And La La Land was one many years ago. 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri was one. American Sniper was one. Parasite, which won Best Picture that year, and it was the first international film to do so. I knew nothing about that film going into it, and I loved it. It was superb. So
really good, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to. There's a lot of movies this year that I know nothing about, and I'm really looking forward to watching them and hopefully finding some new favorites along the way, because that's what happens each year. So Jim says, we watched A Real Pain. We felt Kieran Culkin was the weakest actor in it, oddly enough. That's interesting. That's interesting, Jim, because he won the Golden Globe. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing his performance. So Mr. Fulton Raz as well. Hi, Robin Adams. I have a huge announcement this Sunday. At 12 and 3 p.m. I have 2 basketball tournaments next Friday.
Always good to know.
Nice one.
And his birthday's January 20th. Happy birthday, Fulton.
Yeah, happy birthday in advance, and good luck with your basketball
Mr. A to Z Fulton Raz.
There he is. So yeah. Okay, the next category. Before they took a break, they always take a break after announcing this next one. So they'll normally announce sort of 8 or 9 categories and then take a short break. We're not going to take a break. We'll keep going. But the next category to be announced was... Here are the nominees for performance by an actress in a supporting role. Monica Barbaro for A Complete Unknown, Ariana Grande for Wicked, Felicity Jones for The Brutalist, Isabella Rossellini for Conclave, and Zoe Saldana for Amelia Perez. And there we go. So this was a really interesting category because there was so many potential nominees. Basically, you've got 5 nominees, and there were 10 people in the running for it here, I think, this year. So I think the surprise one for nominated was Monica Barbaro for A Complete Unknown. And the ones that were overlooked, the snubs for this category, were huge. Jamie Lee Curtis for The Last Showgirl was snubbed. Margaret Qualley for The Substance, snubbed. Ingenue Ellis Taylor for Nickel Boys, snubbed. Danielle Deadweiler, The Piano Lesson, snubbed. But the biggest one, which I think has shocked everyone, was Selena Gomez for Amelia Perez. Was
I like Selena Gomez
snubbed.
a lot.
Yeah.
So,
Selena.
I love
Selena,
Only Murders in the Building. I think she's awesome. So,
yeah. It's that one. I think that one has blown everyone's minds that that Monica Barbaro got the nod over Selena Gomez in the Best Supporting Actress category. So yeah, that was a bit of a shocker there. So yeah. What do you think, Rob?
Yeah, there's only a couple. This was actress and actresses. The supporting actress and the main actress. Those are the big snub categories between the two. So I don't know. It was about what I thought was going to be there. So, those snubs were a little bit of a surprise, but
yeah, it was a strong race though this year, I guess. Like, if there's only 5 slots, if there's 10 like Best Picture, then you could probably have listed them yourself, like, but yeah, the fact that there was 10 strong performances this year, and 5 of them had to miss out, I guess, but. And you can almost say the same for the leading actress category as well. I think it's great that this year the standout performances were the actresses. Because in years gone by, there's been a lot of talk about the actor performances, whereas it's great that there's so many standout actress performances this year that you're looking at both 100%. Supporting actress and actress, and you're looking at 5 snubs from each category. So obviously we'll cover the actress ones later, but 5 strong snubs from each category, just is testament to the body of work that the ladies have been doing in the films this year, and maybe it's about time the Academy sits up and pays attention and maybe hits the equality on the pay there, because we know that's still not a thing in the industry, unfortunately. So
I got a question. Does any of this year's movies overflow from the writer's strike and everything, or that's just far gone? Like,
I honestly,
quality movies or anything, or
I honestly don't know. I'll maybe have an answer to that as we head towards the Oscars.
As you watch them, okay.
Yeah, but I'm not sure how much of the writers. I mean, obviously there was everything ground to a halt because it wasn't just the writers' strike, was it? It was the SAG strike as well at the same time.
But I think that's more 2 years ago, though, right? But still, I was just wondering.
Yeah, I mean, if you think back to the pandemic, and obviously everything had to grind to a halt for the pandemic, and then it was 2 years worth of Oscars where it was largely just independent films, like So yeah, I think the writers' strikes and the SAG strikes that happened, hand in hand almost. There was a crossover there, wasn't there? That will affect certainly a year or two's worth. Whether this year falls into that, I'm not sure. You still do have big movies nominated this year. Wicked, obviously, is, like I say, the blockbuster of the year.
Yeah.
Dune Part 2, another huge blockbuster. So they're there happening. Now they would have been penned
very little to
probably
none
before.
from Disney, by the way. We're big Disney guys. So.
Yeah. So which is a surprise there. Alison says, I never thought I'd see the day Ariana Grande was being nominated for an Oscar, but she was great in Wicked. So
she was great. So
yeah.
Good call.
I'm looking forward to seeing that performance.
Are you going to watch Wicked this weekend? You're gonna watch Wicked this weekend?
I'll see.
Towards the end, I want to hear what your first 5 movies are. We'll talk about it later. Think about it.
Okay. So yeah, after the break, the next category announced, and this one made me smile so much, was this one.
Here are the nominees for Achievement in Music Original Song. El Mal from Amelia Perez. The Journey from the 6888. Like a Bird from Sing Sing. Mi Camino from Amelia Perez. Never Too Late from Elton John, Never Too Late.
Okay, there was 4 of them I was completely expecting. El Mal from Amelia Perez and Mi Camino from Amelia Perez as well. Like a Bird from Sing Sing and Never Too Late by Elton John. I was kind of expecting them. I think they were all in the run at the Golden Globes. However, when Rob and I went live this morning for the actual announcements at the time, I kind of said it would be great if Diane Warren was nominated. She's nominated every year for the past, is it 8 years now? Something like that. I can't remember.
Too.
Yeah, and she's still yet to win an Oscar. But I said it'd be great if Diane Warren was nominated again this year, was in the running once more. Bless her, Diane Warren lost her house in the fires, and my heart goes out to her. But yeah, she is. Diane Warren's name goes hand in hand synonymously now with the Oscars every year. You expect to see her name. I did not expect to see it this year. And there she is in the running again. So I think Amelia Perez is likely to win with one of those songs, probably El Mal, because that took the Golden Globe. However, I would absolutely love it if Diane Warren won. I've not even heard Diane Warren's song yet, but I would love it if she won. And finally,
if this is sung by her, that girl, H.E.R. her.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
So Tyler Perry's the 6888 movie.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's it. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to just seeing it.
She lost her house. It sucks. So
yeah, it's awful. Yeah, bless her. And anyone else that was affected, it's awful. I know the Academy said this year they're going to be honoring and paying a lot of homage to Los Angeles resilience, and things. They have cut though, however. Speaking of that category, the best original song, they're not doing any live performances of the best original songs this year, which surprises me. A year after I'm Just Ken was the standout moment of the entire Oscars last year. Just Ken was the thing that was a proper Oscars moment. It was the thing that everyone talked about for days or even weeks afterwards. Ryan Gosling getting up on stage, doing the performance with, I can't remember how many backing dancers there were, sort of emulating Marilyn Monroe's performances and paying homage to that, and had all the other Kens from the movie in it. Had Wolfgang Van Halen and Slash on stage with him. Got down into the crowd and had Emma Stone and Margot Robbie join in and sing along. It was such a great moment. And so for the Academy to this year suddenly say, no, we're not going to do any live performances is a huge shock. Maybe a bit controversial, but it'll be interesting to see what they do in its place. Like I say, they said they're going to be. Sorry, go on.
No, God, let you finish.
Yeah, so they just said they're going to be obviously still doing a lot of stuff to pay homage to the resilience of Los Angeles and to sort of honor the art of filmmaking and things like that. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do to break up the show this year. So Allison says, I wonder if they're trying to cut down on time. Possibly.
It does take up a big chunk.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, some of the songs are subpar. So I'm kind of, I'm sure they'll do a montage. You'll hear a minute of each song, and I think that'll be great. So how many nominations did you say Diane Warren had?
I'm not sure total nominations. I'd have to look back, but I think
16.
she's been nominated.
16. I
in
looked it
total.
up.
Yeah, yeah.
Oof.
But I think she's been nominated for the last 8 years running now,
That's crazy.
consecutively, something like that. Yeah. So so there we go.
16. She
So-
said she better win. It was her beach home in Malibu, so maybe
was a
not her
beach home in
main
Malibu.
home, but regardless, that's just
Still,
terrible.
yeah, still,
Yeah,
yeah.
still, it's just bad.
Yeah. So anyway, the next category to be announced. Here are the nominees for Best Documentary Feature Film: Black Box Diaries, No Other Land, Porcelain War, Soundtrack to a Coup d'etat, and Sugarcane. I can't say I know a lot about these ones either. I do know that No Other Land is about Palestine and Gaza, so which obviously is very prevalent. Has been heavily in the news every day for the last year or two. So is it the last year perhaps?
Yes.
So it's that one I think might be quite heavy. I remember the documentary last year of the Ukraine Russia war was it 7 Days in Mariupol or something like that or I can't remember how many days it was, but and it was about the start of the war. That was a heavy one. So
yeah,
sorry,
for
Rob.
sure.
Yeah, you held your hand up.
No, I have my Oscar here. If you're watching, the
Oh
YouTube channel.
yeah.
Shifting focus. So sorry. No, but you're just funny. You don't know how many days. That's kind of funny. Yeah. Again, this is another one. You see that you kind of see like what each thing's about, and you're like, wow, that's gonna win. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
always, in my opinion, that's how I pick them. So I kind of look at see what each thing is, and I narrow it down to 2, and I kind of take a guess.
Last year, it should be said. In fact, the last 2 years, some of the documentaries have been absolutely fantastic. So, last year was a really strong category. Of course, this is the documentary features. Yes, that I think we were just talking about.
Now we're going on the shorts.
Yeah, the shorts were also nominated next.
Here are the nominees for Best Documentary Short: Death by Numbers, I Am Ready, Warden, Incident, Instruments of a Beating Heart, The Only Girl in the Orchestra.
And again, I can safely say I know nothing about these ones, unfortunately. So, do you know of any of these ones, Rob? Or?
I don't. No.
No. Yeah. And I hate skimming over these categories. Like, sometimes if you don't know anything about them, you've got nothing to say. I mean, yeah, I'm looking forward to trying, watching the ones that are readily available to watch. Like I say, sometimes some of the documentaries are really insightful, and like I say, the last 2 years there've been some really, really strong ones. So I do enjoy watching a good documentary.
Sometimes like a celebrity's attached to one of the documentaries, and it stands out a little bit, but I don't know any of these. So
yeah,
on to the next one. We're doing good.
On to the next one.
Here are the nominees for Best International Feature Film: I'm Still Here, Brazil; The Girl with the Needle, Denmark; Emilia Perez, France; The Seed of the Sacred Fig, Germany; and Flow, Latvia.
Now, it's interesting that there's 3 out of those 5 this year that are nominated for more than 1 Oscar, more than 2 Oscars, really.
It seems to be like the trend going lately. I don't know.
Yeah, international films are becoming more and more prevalent in the Academy Awards each year, which I think is great. But yeah, I'm Still Here. Brazil has been nominated, I think, for 3 awards, as has Flow, which is from Latvia.
That's the animated.
Perez, 13.
Animated,
so
right?
Flow's an animated one, so it's got animated. It's got international, and I can't remember what the third nomination is. And then I'm Still Here from Brazil is the one that Jason mentioned before. Yeah, again, that's got 3 nominations, I think. So yeah, international, I believe one of the acting ones, and I can't remember the third one. So
has there ever been a Best Picture and a international feature film double win? Has that ever happened?
Yes, Parasite.
Correct. Okay.
Yes.
I should know that.
A lot of people.
Besides that, no, right? That was the only one.
A lot of people thought Roma might do it the year before Parasite won.
Right.
But yeah, Roma didn't take it. But
never saw.
But yeah, but that was really the start of the whole international feature films gaining sort of prominence. So when Roma was suddenly very much in the running for Best Picture, and then obviously the next year, like we say, Parasite went on to take it. So anyway, speaking of flow as well, we mentioned flow. That I think was in this next category as well. Here are the nominees for Best Animated Feature Film. Flow, Inside Out 2, Memoir of a Snail, Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul, and The Wild Robot. I always love watching the animated films. Inside Out 2, I will watch it with an air of trepidation, an air of kind of, I didn't enjoy the first Inside Out film. It was, I thought it was one of Disney's weaker releases in the last couple of decades.
I agree with you.
So. Yeah. So, but I know we spoke about this earlier, and you said you actually enjoyed Inside Out 2 for what it's worth. So
yeah, it wasn't my favorite movie of all time, no, but it was fun. I was pleasantly surprised, as I told Adam.
Okay, yeah. So that gives me a bit of hope. Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance Most Foul. I love that Wallace and Gromit is back in the running. I loved the Wallace and Gromit films when they first came out in the 1990s. And Vengeance Most Foul, I think, was on TV here in the UK on BBC on Christmas Day. I never got around to watching it because we went to watch. No, sorry, we didn't go to watch. We went to Kim's dad's for Christmas dinner, and then we went to my sister's for drinks afterwards. Just Christmas time,
you got stuff
time with family and stuff. Yeah, and I never got around to watching it, but I think I may have recorded it. I think I may have recorded it on Sky TV. So I should hopefully be able to watch that and box that one off quite quickly.
You can get it.
Yeah, so. Yeah. So yeah, I love watching the animated ones. I'm intrigued to see Flow because I've heard obviously quite a lot about it. The Wild Robot I've heard is great as well. So
Wild Robot's great.
Yeah. So and obviously I know you said you were surprised that Moana 2 was overlooked because it was nominated at the Golden Globes, but then I think Moana 2 was also possibly snubbed by the BAFTA and the Critics' Choice Awards. So maybe not such a big surprise there, but
Moana 2 was good, so I'm surprised.
Yeah, again, that's one I need to see as well. But yeah, into the home straight, there's 8 more categories. Yeah, Alison says yes, Moana 2 got snubbed. Yeah, that's the thing. Obviously, they only pick 5 in most categories, and so if there's 6 or 7 in the running, there's always going to be something that misses out. I can't say I was surprised, given that, like I say, it missed out on the BAFTA and the Critics' Choice nods as well. So, but yeah, the next category.
Here are the nominees for achievement in production design: The Brutalist, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Nosferatu, and Wicked.
I think that'll be an interesting category. Obviously, Dune Part 2. Dune Part 2 is epic. Good production design. Conclave, I believe they shot quite a lot of that in Rome, but I don't know if they shot anything. I don't think they were able to shoot in the Vatican City. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see the production design on that. Obviously, Wicked, I'm expecting to have great production design. So
we'll see.
Yeah. So yeah, what are your thoughts?
comes the good stuff. I don't know. I just think probably Wicked would take it. I don't know, or Dune. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Speaking of Dune,
Or Brutalist. I don't know. Like
yeah,
I think it's a crapshoot. Either a movie just takes everything or gets split up. It's more getting split up in the past few years. So I don't know. I got to put some thought into it. But go ahead. What were you saying?
Yeah. Well, you just mentioned Dune, and Dune got severely overlooked in the next category, which was a huge shock, I think, which we touched on this morning. But yeah, the next category announced was... Here are the nominees for achievement in film editing: Anora, The Brutalist, Conclave, Emilia Perez, and Wicked. And yeah, Dune Part 2 overlooked in film editing. Now, Dune Part 2, the reason I say this is a huge shock is while Dune Part 2 is nominated in the Best Picture category, I don't think it stands a chance in Best Picture. I think it's an also ran. It's making up the numbers. However, Dune, looking at the first film, won so many technical awards. It was a technical masterpiece, as is Dune Part 2. It's a technical blockbuster, and I was really, really expecting. Hey, Max, welcome in, Max Webster. I was really, really expecting Dune Part 2 to certainly be in the running, if not leading the charge for the editing category there. Like I say, the technical awards. So yeah, huge shock that it got overlooked completely. But yeah, I'd be interested to see what takes the editing then. What was in there? There was Anora was in there. I haven't seen Anora yet. I'm looking forward to seeing that. The Brutalist, obviously, seems to be getting nominated a lot this year. Conclave, Emilia Perez, and Wicked. So two of the musicals nominated for editing, and I guess obviously because there is sound editing involved as well. So yeah, I can absolutely see why those two were nominated. But yeah,
we'll see. Yeah.
Nora the Brutalist and Conclave getting in ahead of Dune Part 2 was a surprise. So I'm intrigued to see what they've done with their editing there. Speaking of the musicals and the sound editing, the next category.
Here are the nominees for achievement in sound: A Complete Unknown, Dune Part 2, Emilia Perez, Wicked, and The Wild Robot.
So Dune Part 2 does get the nod for achievement in sound, which the sound is great. I have seen that film and the sound is great. Obviously, there's the two musicals, Emilia Perez and Wicked, and A Complete Unknown, which is the Bob Dylan one. So I'm going to guess there's music in that as well. So that makes sense for the sound nominations there. So three films that heavily feature song, music, sound nominations go hand in hand. Wild Robot animated film. I'm intrigued by what the sound is like for that. Then
it's wild. Yeah. Adam usually will watch all the movies and pick the best sound movie. He's usually good at that one. So.
Yeah, do you know what? Last year that was one where I lost it because I went with my head instead of my heart last year, and last year I said Oppenheimer would win it because Oppenheimer had the epic sound. I said the film that deserved to win it was the one that did win it, which was what was it called now? It was the film based on Auschwitz last year. Yeah, it was the film Zone of Interest.
Right, Zone of Interest.
Yeah, it was the Zone of Interest that won the sound last year, and rightly so. It was a much more subtle sound design, but it was equally harrowing and stunning, if that makes sense. So So Max says hi again, Robin Adams. So hi, Robin Adams. So yeah, hey Max, how you doing, buddy?
Here comes the big ones. Let's do it.
Okay, so after sound. Here are the nominees for achievement in visual effects: Alien Romulus, Better Man, Dune Part 2, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and Wicked. I like the look of this category. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. The Planet of the Apes films in recent years have been quite enjoyable, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. And I always love the Alien films as well. So Alien Romulus, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I'm looking forward to just seeing them. Wicked, obviously, we've already discussed that many times, and based on the number of nominations it has, it's got 10 across the categories. So again, one that I'm very much looking forward to seeing. Better Man, I don't know anything about, but someone has told me it is one to look out for. And obviously Dune Part 2 I have seen. And yes,
Better Man is
effects.
a monkey, and it's something with Robbie Williams, the singer Robbie Williams, like it's his biopic with a monkey or something like that. So it just, I don't know, it came out Christmas. I don't know anything about it, but I've seen clips, I've seen the poster, I've seen little things, everything, but that looks intriguing. So I do want to see Better Man. So Robbie Williams, right?
Yeah, I know Robbie Williams. Yeah. In fact, Robbie Williams is from Stoke-on-Trent, and Stoke is about an hour away from where we live. Maybe an hour and a half. So yeah, it's like where Kim and I go to work. Stoke is really close to that. Most people we know are from that sort of area, from where cool. Robbie Williams is from. So yeah. So okay, that was visual effects. The next category.
Here are the nominees for achievement in cinematography: The Brutalist, Dune Part 2, Emilia Perez, Maria, and Nosferatu.
I'm surprised Dune Part 2 is in there in cinematography. I'm not sure the cinematography was necessarily outstanding. Max says, I did like the final scene of Wicked. Cool. I'm yet to see Wicked, but I am looking forward to seeing it. I'm not sure, what I think of Dune Part 2 getting nominated there. Emilia Perez as well. I can't necessarily say the cinematography was anything to shout home about. The Brutalist, I'm yet to see. Maria, I'm yet to see. Nosferatu, I'm yet to see. So I'm very much looking forward to seeing them. It'd be interesting to see where that category goes.
Obviously the best picture winner is going to win this. I always feel so.
Well, it often does, but it doesn't always. So cinematography is quite often a precursor to best picture, which and there's also editing and director as well. Yeah. Now. There is a massive snub in director that we'll get to. There's a couple of films that are in the running for Best Picture, possibly, that I think are not nominated in this category in cinematography, and also editing. So it's interesting. So I don't know. I don't know if there's been any snubs in this category per se. And obviously, like I say, you can always look back at when Coda won Best Picture, and it didn't even have a cinematography nomination, So yeah.
True. Okay.
Yeah. Alison says, I think Conclave got snubbed here for cinematography. It was a great movie visually. Yeah. See, that's one of the ones I was alluding to, Alison. Like, Conclave is not in the running here in cinematography, and there's another category where it also got a very surprising snub, which we'll touch on shortly. But Conclave is still very much in the running for Best Picture, I think, this year. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes. But there we go. It makes this year so interesting because I don't think there's any shutouts yet. So I think there's a lot of running still to go in the races for a lot of the categories here. So
yeah.
But cinematography. After that one, we went into the Big Four, as they're affectionately known. So the Big Four, at the end.
Let's do it.
So the first one to be announced was...
Here are the nominees for performance by an actor in a leading role. Adrian Brody in The Brutalist, Timothée Chalamet in A Complete Unknown, Coleman Domingo in Sing Sing, Ralph Fiennes in Conclave, Sebastian Stan in The Apprentice.
So
You there?
yeah, I'm here. I'm here. You got?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Okay, cool. So yeah, I think Adrian Brody, expected him to be nominated. He took home the Golden Globe. Timothée Chalamet for his portrayal as Bob Dylan in A Complete Unknown. Fine. Coleman Domingo nominated again across award season, and Ralph Fiennes as well, Conclave. I think all of those you kind of expected. The surprise inclusion here is Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice, and he beat out Daniel Craig for
he's
Queer.
Donald Trump, right? In The Apprentice.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. So now I'm gonna preface this next part by saying I'm not going to get political. I'd appreciate it if other people didn't as well in the chat or whatever. But like, it should be said that Sebastian Stan was reportedly in this film. Like, obviously, we all know Variety magazine, and Variety, has an online presence, and Variety does a lot of videos that you can find on YouTube, actors on actors, where they'll talk about a lot of their roles. And Sebastian Stan was reportedly prevented from participating in Variety's Actors on Actors series because publicists were afraid of letting their clients discuss this is deemed a controversial film with him, basically in case it might draw the ire of one Donald Trump. So because of that, it actually looked like The Apprentice might kind of disappear from the awards race.
That movie came out, was quiet. No one really talked about it. It was very under the wire.
Yeah.
So I was surprised it was in here at all, to be honest with you.
So the fact that not only Sebastian Stan here, but going back to the supporting actor category, Jeremy Strong getting in as well, is quite the comeback for this film, really. When it looked like it might fizzle out into it might just kind of quietly slip away into the night. I'm pretty sure the newly installed president might have a lot to say about this film on his social medias, but that's as far as I'll take anything.
I don't remember him ever
there.
even mentioning it, but okay.
Yeah. But yeah, like I say, Sebastian Stan beating out Daniel Craig for Queer there was quite a shock, I think. So
Okay.
so yeah, another snub. So quite a lot of snubs this year. And speaking of snubs, the next category was absolutely rife with them. And that was this one. Here are the nominees for performance by an actress in a leading role. Cynthia Erivo for Wicked. Carla Sofia Gascon for Amelia Perez. Mikey Madison for Honora. Demi Moore for The Substance. And Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here.
Interesting category.
A very interesting category. Again, 5 snubs here. I think everyone expected Cynthia Erivo to get nominated here for Wicked. Here's a big fan of Wicked in the chat right now. Hey Pam, welcome in. It's great to see you. So Alison says, I think Pamela Anderson got snubbed here for sure. Well, that's it though. I mean, again, like with the supporting actress category, the actress in a leading role category, there was 5 snubs really. Angelina Jolie was snubbed for Maria. She got a lot of nominations and nods over award season. Nicole Kidman for Baby Girl. Kate Winslet for Lee. Pamela Anderson for The Last Showgirl, as you say. You could also look at performances by Amy Adams, Tilda Swinton. There was quite a few that were being talked up a lot in this. I think everyone expected Cynthia Erivo to get nominated, like I say. Everyone expected Carla Sofia Gascon from Amelia Perez, the first openly trans actress to be nominated. Mikey Madison from Honora, I think, didn't surprise anyone, and Demi Moore, obviously, from The Substance. But Fernanda Torres from the Brazilian international film I'm Still Here. Sneaking in, should be said, she did actually win a Golden Globe as well, though. So it'll be an interesting
I thought she
race.
did. Yeah,
Demi
because I remember
Moore-
her speech.
Yeah, Demi Moore and Fernanda Torres both took home Golden Globes, which means this is not a nailed-on race yet. So, yeah,
We'll get a better sense
a lot
closer to
of
the
snaps.
Oscars.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. We've still got the Critics' Choice Awards, we've still got the SAG Awards, we've still got the BAFTAs to go. So we'll get a better sense, like you say. But
Right.
but yeah, an interesting category, and like I touched on earlier, I think both the actress and supporting actress categories are really strong this year. So I'm looking forward to watching a lot of these performances. Okay, 2 more to go. The next category announced was. Here are the nominees for achievement in directing: Sean Baker for Anora, Brady Corbet for The Brutalist, James Mangold for A Complete Unknown, Jacques Audiard for Amelia Perez, and Coralie Fargeau for The Substance. Okay.
Mail call. Sorry about that, guys.
That's okay. Yeah. So I think there was 2 prize inclusions in that Best Director category. Coralie Fargeau for The Substance and James Mangold for A Complete Unknown. I don't think many people were expecting to get in. And especially probably not over Edward Berger for Conclave. I think his snub there has shocked a lot of people. Will that damage Conclave's chances in the Best Picture category? Who knows? Like you say, quite often cinematography, editing, Best Director go hand in hand with Best Picture. Again, we should say not always, because Coda didn't have the Best Director nominee. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, Denis Villeneuve for Dune 2 also getting overlooked. So I think a few people were expecting Denis Villeneuve to get a nomination here. He didn't. So yeah, we'll see how that category goes. What are your thoughts, Rob?
I don't know. Like I said, a lot of these, it's up in the air until we get closer. All good points. I don't know. I think Brutalist or Emily Perez is going to take a lot of awards. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's right. If I would guess right now, I would pick those 2, but I don't know. We'll see. We got to see what the buzz is closer. I don't know. And yeah, there's a couple snubs. It's weird. It's a weird year period. So we said this a couple times already. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited to watch movies. That's all I know. So
that's there's a lot of movies that I still know very little about, and this is what I love. So yeah, and I could probably list at least 4 in this final category, the Best Picture category. So here are the Best Pictures nominations for this year.
Here are the 10 nominees for Best Picture:
Anora,
The Brutalist,
A Complete Unknown,
Conclave,
Dune Part 2,
Emilia Perez,
I'm Still Here,
Nickel Boys,
The Substance,
and Wicked.
Now, what's your gut right now for Best Picture?
Well,
right now, I'll get top 2.
I'm not sure what my gut is here. Amelia Perez has got to be strongly fancied in that it's the most nominated. It's got 13, but obviously Wicked and The Brutalist 10 apiece. There are 2 snubs in this category actually as well, and it's interesting to see snubs in Best Picture. You don't normally get that, but 2 that were overlooked. I think Nickel Boys is the surprise inclusion.
For sure.
I think a lot of people were expecting Sing Sing to be included in there as well, and there's also
They had a
All We
buzz for
Imagine as
2
Light,
minutes.
which I think everyone,
I
All
don't
We
know.
Imagine as Light, I think everyone was expecting to be included this year. It's been
Never heard of
a
that.
film that a lot of people talked about. It's actually an Indian film, but India didn't decide to put it forward for international. And I think had they done that, it would have almost certainly been included. And had it got that, then it probably would have been included in other categories as well. Instead, it's had a complete shutout at the Oscars. And I think that surprised a lot of people this year. But All We Imagine is Light overlooked. Sing Sing is the big snub, though, from the Best Picture category. I think that was nominated for Best Picture in quite a few other awards shows this year. And instead, Nickel Boys has crept in there with one of only 2 nominations. As we mentioned before, Nickel Boys has just got the 2 nominations. Sing Sing has, I think, 3. So it already has more, even though it was shut out for Best Picture.
I was looking forward to see Sing Sing, and I thought it was going to be nominated, especially that there was 10. But
yeah, so you're asking my gut instinct on what is likely to win Best Picture.
wait,
I
hold
think
on.
the
We gotta-
strongest ones.
Hold on, full screen because you're going to have to use this for the montage,
Okay, you want me to go full screen? Okay.
which we never make. But
Okay, as it stands, okay, so your 10 Best Picture nominees: Anora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and Wicked. Now, I'm going to take 2 of those off the table straight away, which is Dune Part 2 and Nickel Boys. I don't think they're in the running. Even though Dune Part 2 is a huge blockbuster, I don't think it's in the running. I think the ones that are most likely are Amelia Perez. I think that's of the 2 musicals, Amelia Perez and Wicked. I'm sorry to say, because I know Alison and Pam are huge fans of Wicked, but just based on the buzz at the moment, I think Amelia Perez is going to outperform Wicked in the musicals. And I will say I have seen Amelia Perez, and I don't think it's particularly great. I am going to say that. So this is not a bias. This is not a bias thing. I just on the hype at the moment, Amelia Perez seems to be getting a lot of love. Conclave, I think, is absolutely in the running. The Brutalist and possibly Anora as well. I think they're the 4 strongest nominees. Obviously, Wicked is the box office blockbuster of the year, so shouldn't be overlooked in the slightest. Interestingly, Alison says The Substance. I don't know much about The Substance, but Alison says my gut is The Substance. That's interesting.
Demi Moore.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know anything about it, and like I said a couple of times, I love not knowing things about these films, and because therefore I'm not going in with any preconception when I watch the film. I'm not judging a book by its cover in advance, and I found some of my favorite films doing that. But watching things that I may have decided not to watch had I seen a trailer or seen a poster or whatever. So yeah. There's a few films in this category.
Top three for our soundbite. Come on.
Well, I've just given you 4. I just gave you 4.
Okay.
So
I'll take 4.
yeah. So yeah, my top 4 I think are going to be Anora, The Brutalist, Conclave, and Amelia Perez. They're the 4
Good choices.
that I think. What about your good self?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think I'm gonna have to agree with you. Those 4 are the tops. This morning we did it live. If you guys haven't seen, on my channel, we did we did 2 pub talks today, which is awesome. We did the live announcements, and we did, our reactions. We thought about it all day and everything, but
it wasn't alcohol this morning. It was coffee this morning.
yeah, we did have coffee. So and right off the bat, remember what I said, Adam? I said 8. And you're like, nope, 10. I'm like, well, maybe 9, but I think 8. And, I think it's supposed to be 8. I don't think Nickel Boys or I'm Still Here should be there at all. So, I'm Still Here is the foreign thing, that picture that's fine. So, unfortunately, I'm not feeling Dune Part 2, but who knows? I don't think so. And I don't know, maybe Wicked. I hope Wicked. It could be it's a front runner, but again, like you said, The Brutalist, Conclave, Amelia Perez. Those are my 3. Anora would be 4th, no order, but I would put that 4th out of that if there was an order. But right now we will see.
Yeah, so. I think I'm inclined to agree with you there. So yeah, but who knows? I think it's early enough in award season still, and especially as things have been pushed back. Critics' Choice should have been a week or so ago, and ended up getting pushed back because of the wildfires. So I think it's early enough now in award season still that a lot of races can change in terms of leadership and how things are going. So I think this is one of the most exciting award seasons for years because of that. There's no lock-ins yet.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. But yeah, that's what really gives me excitement about this year's award season. I think it's a very weird year in that it seems almost like a lot of films that we don't know enough about. Obviously there's a couple of huge blockbusters in there. Wicked, like I say, the most talked about film of the year, and Dune Part 2 is obviously a technical masterpiece as well.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm just interested in seeing some lesser talked about, lesser known films. I'm interested in seeing some bigger films as well. Alien Romulus and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, for the VFX categories. Wicked, obviously, I know is going to be spectacular to see. And some of the others, really looking forward to it. So yeah.
All right. I asked you earlier, how do you know what? I think and now I'm thinking about it as we're talking, here. I think I always watch whoever has the most nominations lowered. What do you do? Like, I was wondering what's I'm going to guess you're going to watch a movie tonight, or tomorrow. Of course, tomorrow it's the weekend. What's
tomorrow and over the
you're
weekend? Yeah. Kim's away for the weekend as well.
Okay.
So I've got a lot of work to do over the weekend, but I'm also just going to be sitting around kicking my heels. I'm not going anywhere. So
Kim won't watch a lot of that.
So
we'll probably save some for Kim, like Wicked for Kim.
There's a few that I'm going to say for Kim. Like Kim's really looking forward to seeing Wicked. She's really looking forward to seeing Conclave.
Okay.
So there's a few
that's a loaded question. It's as a default there. So
yeah. Okay. So with that in mind, it might be that I have a look around, because now the Academy Awards have been announced. They're on Netflix and Prime and Disney Plus and the streaming platforms, Apple as well. They're great at putting in a category for award season. So everything that they've got on their platforms, you can find. So quite often, the documentaries, the shorts, things like that. And and I love getting my teeth into those when I'm kind of sitting around by myself, so I might tackle some of those. I'm not going to have a particular order. I always used to go with the best picture ones first, then maybe the acting ones and the director ones.
I always do that.
Yeah. Whereas these days, I just like to watch. I don't care. If it's one of the nominated, one of the 50 nominated films. Do you know what? Funnily enough, again, going back to a question you asked me earlier, watching a film that I knew absolutely nothing about, but just because it was nominated for an Academy Award. One of them was the film 4 Good Days. And do you know what that was nominated for? Best Song. That was it.
That's good.
Best original song.
I don't even know that one.
Nothing to do with acting, nothing to do with anything technical. It was literally nominated for a Reba McEntire song, and she sang that, but it was Mila Kunis and Glenn Close, and
I saw that movie. That was good. I did see that.
It was brilliant film. Yeah, it was so good.
I remember it was good,
and I would never have seen it because I'd never heard of it. Really, I would never have seen it had it not been nominated for an Oscar, and it was nominated for one song by Reba McEntire. And actually, me and Kim watched it, and we loved the film. We thought it was a great film.
Good.
So this is what award season does. This is what the Oscars does for me. Is
cheers.
It turns me on to
alcohol, but cheers to the award season. I'm excited.
I'm empty now. Like I did bring a full bottle of fizz if I was going to go into it, but nice. I might save that for when we're. Is there
a way we could have like an Oscar keg or something like that? Oscar keg, and every time you watch a movie, you take a drink from the Oscar keg. Like, is that possible? And then by the end, like you finish the keg, or I don't know. I unfortunately I gotta go eat dinner.
You need to go and eat dinner. We should.
But that's a good idea. What about the mini keg or something? Maybe that could be like the mini keg or something.
I will have to. I'll have to see.
Let
me have a think on that. Let me have
think about it. So I like that. So Adam, a great day. I love. It's the second year we did it. We watched it live. Thank you for watching it live with me. So I do love watching when they announce the nominations. It's a lot of fun. I did go back and watch it again. The people that did it was good. Bowen Yang, and I don't remember the other girl, but she's a new up and coming girl. She, I looked into her. She,
both comedians from Saturday Night Live. Yeah, they're both.
No, I don't think she's from Saturday Night Live. I don't think she's not from Saturday Night Live. She, that girl, who's on the Bear. The girl's on the Bear. She like writes with her. She does stuff with her and everything. That she's an up and coming girl. I don't know where they picked her from, but she did a good job. So hopefully, maybe she's in something. She's an up and coming star, but Bowen Yang's pretty big. He's in Wicked and Saturday Night Live. But cheers, guys. Cheers, Max. Cheers,
thank you, guys. Max,
everyone
Jim,
for
Allison,
popping in.
Pam.
Really good.
Yep. So,
so
Jason,
yeah,
who was in the chat before.
The episode this morning that we did the live viewing is on my
Brian.
YouTube channel. It is the podcast is already out. Maybe it's a record the same day, which. Let's put it this way: just put the Christmas podcast on our podcast. I'm sorry for the delay, but today's and then tonight I'm going to put this one on probably tomorrow, so you'll have this one on our podcast too. Thank you guys. Oh,
yeah,
man.
Well, there you go. So
Miss
for
Ben,
Allison, for Jim, for Pam,
thanks, guys.
for
Miss
Max. You
Miss
all
Jimmy.
know what's been nominated this year now. So so watch what you can. You don't have to watch all 50 films. 50 films have been nominated across all the categories this year, if you include the shorts and the documentaries and stuff. 50 films have been nominated. 38 days until the Oscars.
Yeah,
watch
we got
what
it.
You can and let us know your predictions. Like we will have a prediction stream. On Friday the 28th of February.
Are you going to do another thing again like you did? You did so good last year with that.
So
like a review?
Yeah, the last couple of years I've done a couple of reviews of all the pictures nominated and breaking down what they're nominated for and the details and whatnot. And I've done a couple of things where it's like Oscars by numbers, so any interesting stats. So I'll try and get those videos out there as well.
You did such an amazing job last year. I hope you do it. So
thank you, buddy. Yeah, I love putting those ones together.
I bet you that's got a lot of views still.
Yeah. So so stay tuned for those. They will come out on my channel. The Pub Talk Friday the 28th of February will be the predictions where we all get our predictions in. So anyone that's playing along, let us know if you plan on playing along. We can email you the sheet out, and you can get your predictions to us. I know Pam and Connie entered last year as well. So Jim from More Sunshine, please.
Oh, and I want Max to do it this year too. So
Max, if he loves his films, Allison, you're more than welcome to play along as well. It sounds like you're well into this. Ray, who was on in the chat on your stream this morning, the artist formerly known as Disney Circus Girl, so Diz Tales, she will always play along as well. Grace and many
Grace,
others.
A B C D E F. Yes.
Yep. So
by the way, your Oscars roundup from last year got 2,115 views, which is awesome. Your third biggest video on your channel. So
nice. Yeah.
I hope you do it again this year. So
thank you. Yeah, I'm looking forward to. I will do another Oscars roundup video as soon as I can. I might even get to work on it tomorrow. We'll see. So
March 7th, you put that one out. So if you put it out earlier, you're going to do better, which is good.
Yeah. So I will. I'll do that. We will also on Oscars Sunday, which is the 2nd of March. We will do a little bit of the red carpet live coverage. There was one year Rob and I actually put tuxedos on, which was good fun.
No, you put tuxedo on, not this guy.
You put a suit on as well. Yeah.
I did put a suit on. That's right.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. So who knows? Maybe we'll put our best on again. So who knows? And
next week's my birthday. Hopefully, we'll do a pub talk for my birthday.
We have a pub talk coming up for Rob's birthday. That will be over on Rob's channel. And obviously as well, Monday, March the 3rd, there will be the reaction,
I hope we could do
reaction
one
to the
that.
results. Yeah. So yes. Oh yeah, there will be plenty before that. Don't you worry. But we're just ones that we've already got in the calendar. So the 28th of February for the predictions, Monday, March the 3rd for the reaction, a recap of the Oscars, how it went down on the night, the red carpet live on Sunday the 2nd, and obviously your birthday coming up next week as well. And there will be more. So stay tuned. Yes. Stay tuned to this guy right here, Mr. RobFuz. So check out his channel, youtube.com/.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
RobFuz. Yeah. And I am not RobFuz. There's this one. Did you boo? Thanks, pal.
I said, yeah, woo. No, I said, woo, not boo.
I thought you said boo.
No, get out of here.
So, Yeah, and again, if you're listening to the podcast, the pubcast, thank you very much. And yeah, find our channels on YouTube and take a look. And we will see you guys soon. So yeah, this one's been fun. It's another pub talk in the can, and the Oscars nominations are there. So go and watch the films.
Enjoy, guys.
And we'll see you soon. Thanks a lot, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.